Hi everyone, Bricknut here. In this video I've got a couple of Lego sets that I picked up recently that I'd like to show you. You can just about see one there at the bottom of the screen. See the top of it sticking up there. I want to talk about this behind me as well, and the possibility of changing my lounge around at some point. Thanks for giving me the idea, Taylor. I can't remember the rest of his YouTube handle, that's the only part I can remember. Anyway, let's start with the sets that I've picked up. So I was offered these two sets about a week and a half ago. It's from a Facebook seller that I've bought a few sets from over the past sort of month or so. And she has actually bought a couple from me. I had a couple of duplicate sets that I had acquired that I didn't need, that I put up on Facebook, and she bought them from me. But what I bought from her is the Prison Island set. Now off the top of my head I can't remember the set number. I don't know when it was released. I'll research all that before I do the review, so I can include that in the review, which I plan to do for next Tuesday, as long as I don't forget again. No real excuse for not doing one Tuesday apart from I forgot this week. I got so sidetracked with doing this project here, it's involving this big base, that I just completely forgot. And the other set I got with that one, I got these for £90 for both, is the hospital set, which, as you know, I've already got. But I don't mind having some duplicate sets, especially big sets like this, because they come with so many usable parts. I do like the big transparent panel windows. Yeah, what are they, 1 by 6 by 5, I think, if I remember rightly. Plus there's other things, you know, I could make the pushchair up, there's the figures, I am going to make the ambulance up, and I am toying with the idea of pinching like the x-ray machine and whatnot out of this to put in my mock hospital. I know it's cheating a little bit as it is a mock, but I'm going to cheat. So, I haven't built that one yet, but yeah, I have built the Prison Island, as you can see. And it is 100% complete, as always. Did come with its box as well, along with instructions, all well packed. So, haven't actually looked at the hospital yet, but I'm presuming it's done the same way. Every other set I have bought from her has been done the same way. So, right, the lounge. Now, me and Taylor were having a little chat the other day, and we were actually talking about this, the model railway layout, which is 00 gauge, by the way. And he said it would be pretty cool if I could rearrange the lounge, you know, so the city basically took up most of it, but then I wouldn't have anywhere to put the PC or anything. That would be the problem, locating that in the same room, while basically increasing my city size. I have actually thought about it, and I have actually ran ideas through my head. In fact, it's something I've been thinking of on and off for quite some time before me and Taylor were actually having this conversation. But it's just the thought of having to move all that Lego. I mean, to rearrange this whole bedroom to fit this in has taken me about a month and a half alone, just in here. And there's more stuff in that lounge that needs to be moved, relocated and reorganised if I ever decide to shift the lounge around. So it might happen in the future if I'm feeling that ambitious and if I can come up with a plan that would actually make the city bigger. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as it is. It's working. I'm happy. Yeah, just leave as is. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. So, that now brings me on to the model railway that I wanted to talk about. This week I just got distracted by this. I just wanted to get this built and installed. Last weekend my stepdad came over and we built the actual base and fixed it to this bench. This bench has always been in here. I had all my retro computers set up on that corner, which I moved to the other side of the room. Yeah. And what I wanted to do is actually show you how it folds down, but I've got to clear all this junk off of here now, haven't I? So there's the nails that I've got to use to fix the track down with. But because I live in a flat, I can't actually do that yet, because I know my neighbour's going to be taking a nap sort of roundabout now. I need to kill a bit of time. Well, actually I suppose I could do some, depending on what the time is. But all this track came from my stepdad, because he's a model railway enthusiast as well. He's got one in a purpose-built room in the garden that I helped him build. And this is what's left over from his layout rebuild. When he first started, a couple of years ago I think, a year ago, something like that, he didn't have a circular that went all the way around the room. He didn't have a loop. What he had was basically the layout down one wall and what they call a helix at either end, which is basically a spiral. And the idea was, when it worked great, but the idea was his locomotives would go through the layout, the main layout on the top, down one helix at one end, under the railway layout. Then we had another section the same width as the upper layout, the main layout, which he was planning to store locomotives and things on, so he could just run whichever he wanted whenever he wanted. And it would run all the way through, come up the other helix, and then back round and through the layout. But he found, because of some of his conditions, like his sciatica he suffers from, that bending and trying to get into the helix area to keep cleaning the track, because it was an utter pain. There's a lot of derailments because the curves were a bit too tight for the locomotives. It's just being an utter problem, so he literally got so fed up with it, he just ripped it all out and just went with a loop all the way around the room, with a lift out section which he wants to put on hinges eventually, where the door is. But that meant there was a lot of track left over, which he has given to me. And I'm pretty certain with this lot, on this base, I'm certain I'm going to have track left over. Maybe not out of this pile, but I do have a lot of track elsewhere. In fact, I've got a lot of track in a box down there. Yeah, and this isn't the Hornby track. It's Hornby compatible, but you can do this with this track. You can bend it. It's what they call flexi track, which is absolutely great. It's expensive, but it is great because it means I can set my curves to whatever sort of pitch I require. So if I only want a light curve like that, for example, I could. Which is what I'm going to go for. I don't want curves that are too tight. So there's a few bits of Hornby track in here that you can't do that with. And I'm surprised after all these years that Hornby hasn't decided to do that, but yeah. Hornby is what they call set track, because the curves are set as that curve, you can't change them. Which generally works, it's not a problem. In fact, I'll have a play around, I might use the set curves on here. We'll see. For now, can I get this in one bundle? I can, look at that. It's the first time I managed to do that. Right, so I'm just going to lay that on the bed, because I need this all cleared anyway, because I want that taken down. So, I'm actually going to move you guys over here. I'm just going to make some room on here. I don't know why, but whenever there's clear bench space, it always ends up as a mess. Look at this. Clutter everywhere. I do apologise for the creaky, let's loosen that off actually. There we go, it won't creak. Yeah. It just ends up as a mess. Always end up having to clear it. Right, let's just move that Lego set. And move that lamp back, I think. I added the light as well. Extra work light above here. Which is working really, really well. I'm pretty pleased with it. Well, one of the officers has lost his cap. There we go. Right. I will say that that police station is a police station. That prison is a little bit awkward to pick up at times. Right. It's just knowing where to get hold of it, where they ain't going to break into bits. There we go. I might need my pokey stick, I don't know, because I'm short. So, as you can probably see, it is a base that will fold down. A couple of homemade catches up there. I had to make a couple of those brackets, which I did yesterday, and they are just simply dead bolts. You just drop that one down like that. Do the same this side. I've got the advantage this end because I can get up in the bed. Do that. Swing that down like so, and hey presto, ready to work. Just make sure my legs are nice and stable. I suppose if you want to, you could do a Lego City like this, but you would have to glue everything down, because otherwise I can see it just falling straight off. Especially your base plates, they would have to be stuck down. Which then gives you the disadvantage if you actually wanted to change your road layout or anything, you can't, you're kind of stuck. So, yeah, I'm actually quite happy with how this has turned out. But, I'm becoming a very eager beaver to get some track laid on here. Come to think of it, because of the width of this, I think I'd just be better off using the Hornby set curves for that and just use these for the straightaways. But I do need to go into town at some point this afternoon because I do need a couple of extra bits. Although the weather is not looking nice. We have to brave the weather. It's currently raining again. Anyway, I hope you like this video, and I hope you don't mind me showing the progress for the model railway, but this is one of the things that's been distracting me, apart from a couple of personal things I don't want to get into on the camera, but which most of those have actually been resolved now as well, so everything is looking up. So next Tuesday, just to recap, I'll do a review on the Prison Island, because I actually quite like that set. No idea where I'm going to store that one yet. Still running out of room. As fast as I clear the room, I fill it up again. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. I will, as always, leave links in the description to the channel's Discord server and Facebook page. So if you want to leave comments, you'll have to go over to either one of those. Yeah, thanks a lot for watching. I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye!